Hello, my name is I&II King, and I will be interviewing the cast and crew of First Lady.
The crew too?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, first to my right, I have Dennis Reed, who's the producer, writer, and director.
I think I did too much.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
So first, I want to ask you, how did you come with the concept of First Lady?
Wow. First Lady came up with the concept because being from the hood, I guess, we always know about the guys that's supposed to be running the streets, and I never really thought dudes ran the streets. I always thought that was that girl that had the bag.
Somebody in the bag.
I always thought it was the girl, like always. Like women teach men so much. So I was like, I'm gonna make her the first lady. I'm gonna make somebody dope the first lady and make her be the one that control everything.
Wow, that's cool. So let me ask you this: how was it filming in Detroit?
Filming in Detroit is easy. We filmed in Detroit and New York for First Lady. So we did all Jim Jones part in New York. We flew out there. We stayed there for like the weekend, and then we came here and filmed for 10 days. And by this being my 4th movie. And then we did a TV show. So like really we did like fucking 12 movies. So being here, I have like really lay of the land here that I know where I'm gonna go, I know who I'm gonna deal with, where restaurants I'm gonna go to, everything. So it's better for me to film in Detroit.
Tell me about how you selected your cast.
Funny, Lemaster, he always been with me. Lee been with me since He Said, She Said the play.
Okay.
So that's like damn near, 10 years? Yeah.
That's a minute.
About 10 years. So I had him forever. That's like little brother.
Longer than that.
Yeah, shit,
That's
you
like
right.
06.
Camera 14. So about 14 years I have been with Lee. Deezy, he's the funny one because I've been trying to get him forever. Like I tried to get him to do Indictment. I tried to get him to do True Law. And dude was like, all right, I'm gonna get back with you. I got you. Like, and then it's funny because he's like, one day he was just like, yo, man, I'm just being real. If you're not gonna let me do my acting thing, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's your acting thing though? Like, there's no small roles. He like, nah, bro, I need to show my talent. And I'm like, all right, so when I had this thing because everybody watched Power. So I had this thing. I wanted a black dude and a white dude to be best friends, kind of like Tommy and Dude. And I had it all in my head. And I promised to God, it was all God. Because we had 3 days to shoot. And Dude straight called my phone like, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I'm not gonna do the movie. And I'm like, bitch. And I called K Deezy, and it had to be like late. I'm like, yo, bro, sorry for calling you late, but I need you. He was like, I told you, I gotta show my acting skills. I'm like, no, you will be able to. So literally we gave him the script. He learned that shit in like 3 days.
So what type of movie is...
I ain't talking about Demaris though.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
So, and then Demaris, it's kind of funny with him because I hit him for something, and then I hit him on Instagram or Facebook, and then I seen him at another movie premiere. The movie premiere didn't go like how nobody wanted it to go, and then we kicked it, and I'm like, and by the way, I need you to do my movie. He's like, all right, man, we'll talk. I'm like, all right, so I got him, and that's how I got them. The rest of the cast, like the people that's here, like Will, I had him, Will and Lee both did True Law, my first movie.
Okay.
And then, I had Will since Will was like 7. He's like 18 now.
Right.
So, it's like he ain't going nowhere. Shit,
Stuck with you.
he's stuck.
So what type of film is this, and how is it different from other drug films?
Because it's not really a drug film. Like, to me, it's more of like a love film with a little drugs in it. You know what I mean? Because it's about the block, but it's like the upscale block for us. And then it's really about a woman who falls for a dude that took her world from her. You know, and that happens. You fuck around and be in love with somebody that hurt you. You like, yo, gotta get back, and that's what happened. You know.
So let me ask one of you, like from your character, are there any similarities to who you are and who you play?
So me and my real life, Demaris, and Patrick, we kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, Patrick is more, you know, I'm gonna take your head off. I'm more cool, calm, collected, you know, laid back. Liar! Unless you take me there. If you take me there, then I turn into Patrick. I mean, yeah, but I'm more laid back in my real life. I'm all about business, but I'm chill for the most part. Yeah, Patrick is, you know, say something out the way and it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Same for you, Deezy.
Yeah, my name is Kenneth Allen. I play the character of Cisco in First Lady, and for me, me and Dennis had a lot of talks. Cisco is kind of easy for me, you know what I mean? Because Cisco is maybe a little bit overboard from the person that I used to be, but just getting in the character and playing him. The hardest part for me was making sure that I learned the lines and then being able to connect with Dennis and see what was okay and what wasn't okay, you know what I mean? But for the most part, playing Cisco was an easy job for me, you know. That's why I'm looking forward to our other ventures we got coming, because those are going to be the ones where Deezy will be able to show you that he can be more than just the gangster, you know what I'm saying? So.
But no, that's the truth, because he said it was hard for him to learn the lines. He learned them shits in 3 days. Like, he learned the whole script in 3 days. Like, I couldn't fathom having to do that. He learned, and then not only do he know his shit, he know everybody's shit.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But knowing their stuff is how I learn mine. So if I don't know his stuff, then I won't know, you know what I mean, my stuff, yeah.
That's acting one-on-one, for sure.
Same for you, same for you.
That's funny to me, because I honestly feel most of the projects that I do with Dennis, he always tries to add a little bit of me in it on purpose, like he think he know me or something. But that's my bro. He been with me long enough, so I guess he do know some things. You know, hopefully, you know, keep it to himself. But yeah, my character. The only similarity that I see in my character is the love of family. You know, he very passionate about his family and getting them out of trouble and, you know, bettering them, basically. You know, he goes to school, different stuff like that. He's always trying to look for the more positive way out and stuff like that. So
And they really gonna see that in part 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Part 2, he really, you know, that's why I think that was dope what he was just saying, because in part 2, like, you really get to see that about him. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's pretty much the biggest similarity to me. You know, the other stuff, you know, I ain't really did before, but, you know. Nah. I mean, I know people, but you know, even the similarities, like with my brother, like the guy that plays my brother, Julius, you know, he's great. He killed it. He made me feel like, you know, he was my actual brother. You know, similarities to my big brother for real. So it was kind of easy for me to play, you know. And I appreciate
it. What was your favorite dialogue in the movie?
Dialogue.
You ain't nothing but a drug dealer.
Yeah. That coming from Julius, I was just trying to think of I don't know, you might have to come back to me on that one.
Yeah. What about you?
I really liked when we shot the scene in the warehouse where, you know, we bring out his baby moms and his brother and all of that. That was like my favorite thing, because you know, when you get to shoot those scenes where it's like, even if you watch that scene, you watch the energy build. You watch it go from, you know, me trying to be this smooth cat trying to kick it, and then you see like, oh, okay, you think I'm a game now, you know what I'm saying? So that was like my favorite part. That was.
I would have to say when Maria and myself are having a conversation, and I have her daughter next to me, and we're going back and forth, and she tells me that she wanted her man, And I
That's part
tell
two.
But you talking? Oh, he talking about
part two.
part two.
That's
yeah, we was talking about part one.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for catching it real quick. I got lost in the sauce.
You about to tell it?
I got lost in the sauce real quick.
He like, I just got finished filming part two.
No, it's fresh in my brain. It's fresh in my brain. I think the dialogue from part one was when we were in the car with my daughter, and you know, and we had just seen Maria, and Cisco was like, man, who was that? And I was like, man, this bitch I was fucking with, right? Because that right there breaks down the story, and it builds it up right back up instantly. So yeah, I had to say that dialogue when we had that information going back and forth with my daughter screaming, and he trying to figure out who she was, and all this chaos happening in one moment. The transition of the movie leads us into part two.
Hey, the interesting thing is like even part two and part one, like me shooting my scenes with him, and the same thing he said about him and his brother, you know what I'm saying? Because we brothers. So when you watching us together, like me and him, we make sure that we in sync with each other far as, you know, we want our arguments to be intense. We want the laughter to be, you know, extra funny, you know what I'm saying? So even in part two, you're gonna see a lot of me and bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The level grows. The intensity.
Is there like a ritual or something you do before you get into character? Like, do you have to like?
I want him to answer this one first. I want him to go first.
You know, some people they have to. Really.
I think as you grow as an artist and as an actor, you know, different people develop certain nuances and things that help them settle in. For me personally, I just like to, you know, be by myself for a moment, you know, just so that I can immerse myself into whatever character that I'm playing, without distractions, because, you know, film is, whatever you put on film is forever, right? You can't take that back. So I take that very seriously. So for me, I just like to have my space, so that I can get in that zone and be focused, you know, laser sharp focus. So that's pretty much
you answered that for all of us.
Yeah. Well, actually, me, I have a problem with my left knee, so I have to take my medicine before Dennis yells action. I usually go out in the back and take my medicine, you know,
But that's crazy because I remember coming from the play world. And the plays, you would see the guys that they would be in there doing push-ups, jumping jacks, getting the energy up. I'm like, yo, with the movies, it's funny because I learned them. Like, I be mad at him more than everybody because he be so serious.
Yes.
Like, don't fuck with him when he's in his mode. If you don't know him, you would take it as being disrespectful. If you do know him, and this is not me. This came from really me being with Deezy, cause Deezy like, no, bro, you don't get him. Like, he wants this shit to be so authentic that everything else is secondary.
Period.
You know what I mean? Lee, on the other hand, I've been around him. I used to have to get on Lee about being late all the time. Lee, dog, if you fucking late, bro, don't even come. I'm tired of you being late. But it's hard with him because I had to learn, if we gonna do the shit, you tell Lee, yo, we filming at 3, we really ain't fucking with him until 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what but that comes from being a coach. When you a coach, you know your team.
You deal with Dennis, please be prepared for him to take up all your time.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, people would think that. Because we legitly have one of the best movies that came out of Detroit last year. You know, and when we came with part 2, it was even more heightened. Like, we already knew like who we want to bring to the new movie, how we want to end it. We went back and forth on endings. We went back and forth on endings on part 1. You know, because with part 1, if you know me from the play world, you know I lead cliffhangers. So I kept on saying, how can we make this dope? When part 1 ended, you heard, where the fuck is the rest of the movie?
Yeah, from everywhere. From everywhere.
That's all you heard. But we knew. Like, I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm telling y'all now, we doing part 2. I was writing He Said, She Said. I stopped writing it because so many people was on my head to do part 2 of First Lady. I think I wrote that shit in like about a month and a half.
Yeah.
Cause I was zoned out.
It might have been a shorter time than that. 'Cause
I think it was shorter.
I remember when he actually started, he called me at night and he was like, "Man, I just woke up." He was like, "I'm getting ready to write this script." And to me, it felt like maybe 2 weeks. He called me and was like, "All right, now I got to get the cast."
Legit, cause I called him and he was like, "Yeah, I've been writing for the last 2 weeks. I got this amount of pages left. I'll be done in a few days."
Part
Legit.
2 was fast.
And it was really because I was feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like He Said, She Said my baby. So by He Said, She Said me and my baby, I already know that has to be so much better than True Law. It got to be better than First Lady 1 and 2. So that's what my mind is on First Lady right now. Then I got to still write his movie, you know. So I got to do Rose of Joy, and I got to do He Said, She Said. We talk about like in the next 3 months, and then we still got to do Black Diary. Like, so basically, we're working for like the next 9 months, you know, just to bring great production. So when we think about like First Lady, we already know as soon as First Lady 2 come out, they gonna be like, what the fuck is 3?
Yeah.
Period. Especially.
So now I'm like in the writing zone. I gotta be in the writing zone right now because that's what they gonna be asking for. I mean, I got threatened. Like, old girl called me like, if that shit ain't out like now, like what? I'm like, all right, it's coming, yo, calm down, it's coming.
Yeah. So what were some of the, or would you say that was some of the challenges?
With part 1?
Yeah, with part 1.
The challenges with part 1, it was like, first it was kind of with Jim Jones because he had such a busy schedule and he was like, yo, bro, I gotta do this, and this. If you want me, we gotta do this. And I'm like, all right, so, yo, we gotta fly to New York, we gotta do Jim. And we fly to New York, we do Jim. Then we come back here and it's like, dude filming 10,000 movies. I'm like, yo. So I had to go around his schedule. Then the one guy that was supposed to play Deezy part, you know, he was bullshitting around, you know, and then, but I think that was God because, like, when I tell you, this dude, every time he put them gloves on, I'm like, he is on one.
For sure.
He putting the gloves on, somebody gonna die, you know. And then we like Love Logan, who was like one of the producers on the last movie. You know, it was like we was flying people in. We were flying people in to do this, and this. With this one, we flew a few people in, and it just seemed like from part 1 to part 2, we had all the struggles in part 1, and we knew how to handle that shit. So part 2 was just way easier. Like if something didn't happen right, like dude had to do something. So we had in part 2 we had this one scene. I called dude like, yo, I need you. He come along the lines, we do that. But if this was part 1 or if this was True Law, I would have been freaking out. Fuck the movie, cancel this shit, it's over. But now we're just like, all right, yo, just call D or call him, and we all on it again.
What is your passion with your writing and production stuff that you do?
My passion with writing.
What are you trying to, especially with this movie, what are you trying to show?
I'm just trying to show I'm the best writer in America.
Right.
Like, I don't think nobody can fuck with me. Like, and that's not being arrogant. It just I just know that I can write from this genre to this genre to this genre. You know, so since I come from the play world, I can write plays that's funny. Since I come from the author world, you know, I wrote love stories, so I could do that too. And then I could write drug stories. Shit, I've been everything. Been a lover, a drug dealer, a teacher, evolution. I do it all. So that's what it is.
One of the things that I love about working with Dennis is, you know, not just his ability to write, but his ability to be open-minded.
It's very important.
I've done 2 stage plays and I've done 2 other movies before I did First Lady. And a lot of times when you're working with directors who are writers and producers and all of that, a lot of them have their mindset on this is what it is, stick to the script, stick to the lines, don't change nothing, and this is, Dennis is open-minded. He wants to know, what do you think? So when you got somebody who can write as well as Dennis can write, and he's an open-minded person to his cast, he's okay with you saying if it makes sense. He's okay with Demaris saying, "Hey, bro, I think we should change this line around and make this like this." And then if it makes sense to him, he gonna be like, "Try it. Let's just go. Just shoot it and try and see how it works." So to me, I that's the thing with him that I think is great, because when you work with a lot of people, you will understand that a lot of people are not open-minded to what you want to add, what you want to bring.
They want it done their way.
They want it done their way.
Because it's funny, the part in part 2 with D, and he had to throw a Bible.
Yep.
We talked about that for 20 minutes. He like, bro, I'm not throwing the Bible. I'm like, God is not gonna be mad at you throwing the Bible. He like, but my religion believes. I'm like, bro, it's God though. God know your heart. But it's like, I get
Which,
it.
by the way, too, is in part 2, I had to catch myself. I almost was like, some tears was about to come out my eyes. I was watching it. I was like, oh, this dude can act for real.
But that's what you want, because I'm blessed to have 4, really 5 of the best male actors that a lot of people haven't known about.
Wow.
Because like Lee, me and him like grew together. So he still do little things. I'm like, and I was telling somebody that's at the auditions, just saying like, my brother do something, and I'm gonna tell him this time he do it, so I gotta pick back up on it. But Lee is so dope that he get overshadowed because it's so easy for him.
Right.
But then with Demaris and with Demaris and Julius, you talking about some dudes that the only reason why they not bigger than what they are because the money hasn't been behind their projects right. You know, and then with Deezy, he is like that. He like that Swiss Army knife.
Man.
You know, because he does everything and he's funny as shit.
Man,
Just
the
about
funniest
to
guy
add
on
to the
set.
funniest.
The funniest guy on set.
Like he's funny. It's like you be thinking like, yo, this guy is just really good. You know, and then Will, who y'all gonna see in a second, it's like with that dude, he's young, he's hungry, and then on top of it, he's a beast. Like I had him killing people when he was 8. Like, he in a movie at 8 and he's killing somebody, and I'm like, yo, this is what it's all about. I think that just having them 5 guys, it's hard for me to lose when I know I got them. Now the women don't get it fucked up. They're dope. You know, like dope. Like with part 1, somebody kept on going on my page like, oh, who's can act in this one? I'm like, who did a great job?
Yeah.
Callie did
Everybody,
a great
everybody
job.
did.
You know, even and the only part in First Lady that just bothered me, and it was like basically I always tell people it's my fault, like I wasn't there to direct that part, was at the hospital, because the girl that did it, she could really act her ass off.
She can.
But she's a play actress.
Okay.
She's
Which
from
is
the
a
play
difference.
world. So when you in the movie world, you are more calm because it's a movie. In the play world, you are more dramatic. Yeah. You know, and you over the top. Like Vel the Hunter, who is my sister, the one who played the aunt in First Lady 1 and 2. She's a fucking beast. But and she know how to do the play and she know how to do the stage. I mean, in the movie. So that's what make her.
I think that's what helped me. I believe that me doing the stage plays will help me, because it is true, like you said. You're much when you're on the stage play. Number one, it ain't no cut. So you know what I'm saying. When you going out there in the stage play, it's like, first of all, you got to know your stuff. So you out there and there's no room for error. Then the second thing is, as he said, is you doing the stage plays, you way more animated. So when you, like even now, before he yells action on there, one of the things I be doing is be like, all right, Deezy, bring it down 2 notches. You know what I mean? Bring it down a little bit, get in your spot, and then let it flow.
Yeah, I think that everybody that comes from the theater world, and then you transition into film. because I have theater background too. But when you transition into film, there comes a time where you have to kind of learn how to hone it, right? Because with film, everything is here. You know what I mean? Everything is here. It's in the eyes, the expression, the inflection in your voice, the tone in your voice, all of these things, and body. It just delivering something with your eyes. You can do the same thing that you would do in theater with your hands and your emotion that you're invoking physically. So, but yeah, everybody. This movie, First Lady 1 and 2, the whole cast and crew is professional people who put everything they had into this. Wow. And I'm telling you, like, it shows. First Lady 1, it shows.
Even with Lee, that's what I admire about him. Like Lee could be in here cracking jokes with us right now, and Dennis could say, all right, we getting ready to shoot, and it could be a scene where Lee got to cry in this next scene. Man. He don't need, like, he can just, he like, oh, all right, come on, you ready? It's like action, and you know what I mean? So when you working with people who are skilled like that, you have no choice but to boss up yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I would honestly say, like, I might have only took like 2 acting workshops, but most of my learning experience has came with working with like actors that's been doing it longer than me. So like, D been in the game longer than me. I watched him for a while, and he probably thought that I was already acting, but I watched him. I studied with a lot of people that was around me, and you know, I appreciate Dennis too. Also, I gotta say that he gave me that opportunity, knowing I never acted before. But I guess he just figured, you know what I mean? I didn't want to look bad, so I was gonna do what I had to do to make sure that I brought the realness. You know,
it was funny with Lee though, how I got him because I was going to all the salon selling, he said, she said, and True Law, the books, and it was like this picture, and he was pouring milk on himself, and the girl, it was funny, yo, cause the girl at the damn thing was like, if you get him in your play, I'm gonna bring 10 of my friends.
Oh, he was lit.
I was like, what? Listen, so Lee had all the hair salon on 6 Mile. I'm like, I just talked to this dude. So I go, I'm like, dog, you wanna do a play? He's like, yeah, bro, I always wanted to act. And it just went from there. Those damn girls ain't even come to the damn play.
But you got a lot more others to come.
And Julius. Yeah. Like even myself with Julius, I don't know if people know this or not, but like I literally like how he said, oh, he knew all his stuff. Well, in part 1, I literally like before I shot some of my scenes, I would sit with Julius and say, you know, teach me. What is it you have to offer me? What is it that you can give me that can help me jump into my character better? So like, you know, I wish Julius was here with us right now because like,
he stay
all jokes aside, I worked with a lot of people from all kind of different places. You know what I mean? I've even worked with Clifton Powell, some of the big name people, and to be honest with you, Julius is crazy. Like he crazy. If you give his delivery, his demeanor, his same thing that he has, being able to, you know, 1 minute, because like Demaris, I use him for example. Demaris, he doesn't. That's why he's saying what he's saying, because Demaris is not into he don't want to play before his scenes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you start, like he said, you start to learn about each different person, and then now it's like, okay, all right, we family now. So it's like, all right, y'all, come on, let's leave Demaris alone. He needs 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But.
So let me ask you this. What do you want your viewers to get from First Lady 1?
First Lady 1, I want you to get excited about First Lady 2. I taking from First Lady 1, I want people to know that the drug game is real. You know, a lot of people think that it's just glitz and glamour, but it's not really glitz and glamour when somebody get killed. And then with women, I want y'all to understand that a lot of times when you talk to that drug dealing guy, you know, it's a reality that their family gonna try to take all y'all shit and you gonna have nothing. So you gotta marry that guy. You know, like you gotta do something. You know, people don't get it. Like I think with the thing with Nipsey Hussle, you see what's happening with his girl, they don't want her in the house no more. So they gave her 30 days to leave.
Yeah.
She got this kid. So, you know, like, if you serious about it, you better marry that dude.
Yeah. What should the viewers expect from First Lady 2?
First Lady 2 is a lot more. A lot more.
Yeah.
It's sex. It's killing. It's killing. It's emotion. It's brother against brother. Literally.
Real life stuff.
It's
Yeah.
brother against brother. And Hoops, she shows a boss role.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like just really who we brought, because in part 2, you know, we introduced Will character Robert. If y'all ever noticed, I always name one character and everything named Robert because that was my brother's name. So like Robert in part 2, he introduced his crew. So you got this kid in high school that's selling dope because he want to be just like his dad. You know, and then you bring young Dro, who ended up being a really good actor. You know, it was like he did a very good job, and I say it surprisingly because when you see him rapping, he does everything professionally, and dealing with people that's not there all the time. I can't put my on them. I didn't have to really put my on him because he was damn good, you know. And then LA Love the Boss, I got her because my stylist, Erica, who is dope, Erica sat up there and was like, yo, I got somebody that you may want to get. And I'm like, who? She said, well, I don't know her, but just go to her page and just look at her. And she took this picture, I think it's dope as shit. Like, she's like naked but painted, right? And I'm like, all right, first she's sexy as hell, so we can be talking about her a little bit. But then when she got here and she did the scene with Deezy, I'm like, girl can act. You know, so, you know.
Multi-layered, yeah.
And you need it. You know, the one thing about her and Hoops and even, what's the girl name? And I hate forgetting her name. The girl from the light singer that play your sister. The light singer that play your sister.
Kendra.
Kendra. Couture.
Wow.
Yeah, she's dope. She fine.
She's dope as shit. So when you got them kind of women that's backing up these kind of guys, and I didn't even talk about Miss Swanson yet.
Right.
You know, like, it's funny about even Miss Swanson, Maria Swanson. My brother that sell cars, he showed me her picture last year. He's like, man, she's so cute. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then one of my other homeboys was like, I got this actress that you really need to check out. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see. I'm like, yo, I know this face. It was because Larry showed her to me last year. Like, she's cute. And I'm like, all right. And then she came and she killed it. And the thing about her that's amazing to me is her eyes. Because her and Hoops got they got these eyes. You know, and then you put them two against each other. Because she's in love with Patrick and she's fighting for Patrick, and Hoops hate Patrick and she want to kill Patrick. You know, so with part 2, I just knew that I was gonna bring fire. I knew that they were gonna bring fire, and just being able to put this cast is funny because now everybody's calling like, yo, where you get this actress from? Where you get this actor from? I'm like, yeah, you could get my ingredients.
But not the recipe.
You definitely don't want to share us.
No, but actually though, lately I kind of got away from that. Like when I did plays, I never really wanted to share my actors. Now with movies, I tell them, do all the movies you can. Because the more movies that they see,
the better you're gonna be for me.
The better that we're gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do got a second now. You have gotten better. You know, you've been actually putting people on for me.
No, I have, because
I gotta give them that.
Number one,
that's what's up.
I want them all to make money.
That's real love.
And then I had to look at Denzel. Like, when you look at people like Denzel Washington and like the Spike Lees and people like Spike Lee and all the other directors, they want their people to work. And I want them to work in quality shit though.
Yeah.
Don't do a Dennis Reed joint and then go do the bottled water joint. Don't do that. You know, you don't just step over, don't step down. Step over or step up. You know, because I want your career to be this. The higher you are, the better I am.
Right.
You know, so like right now, Black Noah is hot. Everybody know who Black Noah is. So Black Noah did True Law. You know, everybody know who A-Red is. A-Red did True Law. Everybody know who Lemaster is. They all did True Law. That movie was 5 years old, 6 years old. You know, but these people that's doing dope shit right now, they all in it. So now I can say, yo, I got King in it, I got this person. And that's how it is with First Lady. Like right now, First Lady kills on Amazon. It been #1 on Tubi for like, it did like 3 months #1 on Tubi.
Wow. Well, one thing I'll say that I can appreciate from the movie is that I think it's very relevant. Like, I think right now is prime time for women to be doing business, acting, and stuff like that. So I want to say thank you for bringing us women, you know, into the light, because we play a major role, you know, in society and in everything. You know, we're the creators. So I just want to say that thank you. Yeah, we are.
To me, in my opinion, this world has become a woman's world.
It's always been a woman world. We just
Part
stupid
two.
with the thinking parts.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Name part 2 Maria's Revenge because it's all about Maria.
Okay.
So no joke in part 2.
Yeah.
No joke.
The same thing like you said about Lot, you know, like she, you know, people when they see her, they're gonna be able to see her being a boss as well. You know what I'm saying? Like she's no short of being up there too, where Maria is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So for her to come and same thing, she came on set and learned her stuff fast, killed it, and I could, man, you talking about even Cynthia. Cynthia is, you know, she's our aunt, but at the same time, she's almost like the boss of the family. You know what I'm saying? So even in part 2, you're gonna see more of that from her perspective too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she dictated a lot.
Yeah,
that went on between us and our brotherhood.
But it's always like that with the mother.
Yeah.
Like the mother's always the mother is always the one. Like in my household, my mom raised us, and she used to always say, "You don't have to compete with nobody. You compete with the person in the mirror. You compete with the person in the mirror. You gonna either get better or you gonna win."
Speaking of bosses, we have LA Love, the boss, and Miss Maria Swanson in the room. And we're going to talk about First Lady Part 2. Now, First Lady Part 2 is not out yet, right? No. So is it some tea you guys can give us?
Well, I'll say that basically the smartest, I feel like when you're like the smartest person in the room is the most quiet. And that's what I believe that what's the undertone of the film. That's what it's all about. Like it takes you on a really good ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is a secret.
Yes.
So what role are you playing? Who are you playing?
Well, I came into the fold as Patrick's girlfriend.
Okay.
And very, very serious love interest, I would say. And I guess through the film, you find out a lot. My character unfolds.
Okay.
Yes, is what I'll say. Yeah.
What was the most exciting thing about being in the First Lady?
The most exciting thing I would say that was being a part of First Lady was about working with great people.
Yeah.
Working with people who understand like the craft, you know, and that's the biggest thing was like, we have a group of talented people and that pretty much have the same drive and, you know, work ethic. And I think that that's something that is really kind of rare, especially, you know, when it comes to like working getting Dennis, he brought together a great cast of people and he did a great job putting that, you know, everyone together and matching people for really what they truly are gifted in. And I think that that was the most like, you know, magical part on Dennis's part. Like he really just put everybody in the place of like, oh yeah, this is what you'll play. This is, and he didn't necessarily say that, but this is what he did. And that's the good part. Yeah.
So Miss LA Love, the boss, what was your role?
Oh my God, I played Robin. My character was Robin. I was in love with his dad, Will, and I was going with Cisco at the same time. It's a little tricky, but I can tell he's very sexy. You guys won't forget it.
Wow.
You will not.
You will not forget it. Let me tell you, to get your natural thing is real.
Very real.
Very real.
Very real.
That's fun.
So what did you enjoy most about just the concept of First Lady? I mean, us being women, and you know, what did you get from it, or?
You know, what I got from First Lady too is just the experience of women empowerment and really standing up and owning your sexy and being confident. I do consider myself a sex symbol, but it's how you use it.
Right.
You know, you can be unequally yoked in this industry full of dominating men. But this is the year of the woman, I believe, and we can show that we're just as powerful.
Yes. Yeah. So now, Will, you play? Who do you play in First Lady?
Will, I play Robert. I am Will's son.
Okay.
Y'all see First Lady too, man. I'm a force to be reckoned with, and I'm gonna let y'all know that.
Right.
You know.
So what do you like most about First Lady? I mean, with the first one, transcending to the second one.
Well, I love how Dennis wrote my character. My scene in First Lady 1, it was me talking to my dad about how I wanted to be just like him. It's like he loved writing cliffhangers for the next movie to come on. So when all of my friends, family members, and so on had seen the movie, they was like, "Where First Lady 2 at, man? What you about to do?"
How do your character relate from who you are outside of film to who you play in the movie?
I want to say, cause Robert can get real crazy.
Okay.
Robert can get real crazy, and I'm not that type of guy. I'm an easygoing, you know, calm type of person. But when I want to get loud and when I want to get rowdy, that's how it's gonna be. You're gonna see that. I feel like that's my Robert coming out of me, you know.
So Dennis, without telling the rest of the movie that has not come out yet, tell me a little bit more about part 2.
Man, okay, so basically with part 2, I wanted to grow Will up a little bit. I wanted Robert, I wanted you to see Robert grow. So automatically from the very get-go, you see Robert has formed his own team. You know, and he told his dad, like, and when you see part 1, like, I want to be just like you. He took that shit serious. You know, so he built his own team, and to his uncle dislike, to his mom dislike, you know, he built the team, and you gonna see him in part 2 go nuts. You know, and also in part 2, you see the pain with Cisco and Patrick.
Okay.
You know, Patrick is really messed up by losing his wife. You know, and he blaming himself because he feeling like, yo, if I would have never messed with Maria, my wife would still be here.
Right.
You know, and then not only with that, what happens when you lose your wife and your daughter thinks that it's your fault?
Yeah.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
And then with his brother Cisco, they best friends. So Cisco is dealing with losing his best friend, that's his sister, and low key blaming his best friend, his brother-in-law, for his sister's death.
Right.
But then you have the whole thing with Will and Sean, who Will and Maria are doing great. and Sean and Will feel like, oh my God, I'm not needed.
Yeah.
You know, so you have all those aspects in this one movie, and then for Will to find, for Patrick to find a new woman in a year, and for us to introduce, you know, LA as Cisco, girl, you see a vulnerable side of Cisco.
Right.
Because in part one, you just see Cisco going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but in part two, he in love with this chick. Why do you got love in your name? You know, but he's in love with her, and Patrick is in love with Maria.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you in love with two women, and when you in love, what do that mean? You're vulnerable.
Yeah.
And vulnerable can get your ass killed.
So, what do you want the viewers to take from part two?
From part two, I want them to take that love can get you killed. Love can really get you killed. Like, when you play with people's feelings, you play with people's emotions.
That's deep.
You know, they come for you. And with Maria and Patrick, you know, Maria lost her dude because of Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why Patrick even went after her dude, you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because everything has a reason. It's a rhyme or reason for everything. Mm-hmm. And it's not always black and white.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I think part two is so dope.
Yeah.
You know, I think part two is going to show you not only how good my writing is and how good the character development is, but how dope these actors are at making my writing even better. You know, because what I tell my actors and I tell everybody that I think is dope, I say, you take my script and you make it you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I love. He just made it. He just let us do like us, really.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's amazing because like, you know, being as like this is a leading world of women, you know, it's kind of, it's nice because we wear so many hats as women. And we have so many responsibilities and things, and it was really nice to actually take what I already do and just like, you know what, I'm just gonna, you know, be myself, and that's what he allowed us to do, and it's cool.
Acting is funny because with acting you have to remember that a great actor is somebody that's being herself.
Mm-hmm.
When as a kid, when you tell a story, when you doing all this and saying, yeah, you know, and your mama don't believe you. Mm-hmm. But when you like, yeah, I was at the store and the boy came up and he hit me, I hit his ass back. Mama believe that. And you beat the shit out of him for no reason, but your mama gonna back you because you did not stutter and you just told the truth to her, your truth.
Right. You
know, with acting, with the actors and actresses, I always tell them, when it's you, it's believable.
Yeah.
You know, it's so believable, and they will all believe. It's a part with Will in the first one, when he's robbery, and when he do tell his dad, I want to be just like you. That part, I remember writing it it's late at night, I'm writing, and I'm like, damn, I always want to be the drug dealer that paid for kids to go to school. I always want to be the drug dealer that gave the turkeys.
Superman.
I always wanted to be the drug dealer that made a difference in the neighborhood. But then when I got older, I realized that the drug dealer destroys the neighborhood. Like, and the reason why they destroy it and the reason why they give you so much time for being a drug dealer is because when you shoot somebody with a gun, you just destroying two families.
Yeah.
When you put a kilo of cocaine in the community, you destroying a bunch of families. And that's once I got that in my head, it was like, wow, you know, because the person that's a drug dealer, like Will is one of the smartest people in the movie. He's one of the smartest people. So imagine if he just took that same smartness and said he wanted to be a CEO of a business. Right. And that's what his father wanted for him. That's what he said, yo, son, I want you to be better than me. But he didn't want that because the only thing he sees is the glitz, the glamour.
And that's what a lot of our children get confused in the community with seeing drugs. They think it's just, something positive, and the outcome is not. Like you said, a lot of families suffer from it. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Miss L.A. Love. When you're not filming, what do you do?
Oh my goodness, I'm such a homebody, and I'm family oriented. So I'm always
Okay.
around my family, or I'm swimming, and just being in tune with me. Because I
Okay.
think learning yourself and knowing yourself is really what you're valued on and where your morals and values lie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good.
Wait, why she being modest though? Like she just don't skip out.
Yeah, everything else that
I'm
she.
also a rapper.
I'm also
I'm
Right.
also a rapper. I rap my ass
Model.
off.
I'm an entrepreneur,
I really need to be trying to make something with Deezy real quick while we here. But yeah, it's funny. Like they leave out their dopeness.
Yeah.
Like Maria. Like I don't know. Like if y'all ever see her, not only is she just like fucking amazing to look at. She got an amazing personality.
Yeah.
And then you look at her on her Instagram. You like, man, she like really into her son. She's really into family. She's really into God. She's really into a lot.
That's what's up.
Like we'll just like, damn, he just graduated this year. It's like,
Right.
and it's funny. Like he just graduated. I'm talking to his mom. And she like, yeah, wait. He just really want to be an actor.
Wow.
That's all he want to be is an actor.
And he's in the right hands.
Like that to me was the dopest shit ever. Because that means that I'm doing something right.
Something
like he gonna
effective.
be like 10 times better than what I do for him.
Yeah.
Because he understands it. That's like how I feel about Lee, how I feel about, Deezy. Even like I look at my staff. Blake filmed True Love. People don't even get it. So like Blake get on my last fucking nerve, but been around me for damn near 8 years. So it's just like my whole staff always seem to always be there. Lily, his little sister, she was in 2 or 3 of my plays, and then she had a small part in First Lady, and it's like just knowing like, damn, she's in high school now.
Right.
I've been knowing these kids forever. I'm old and it's crazy. Serious. But yeah, I'm geeked about First Lady 2 and just where the whole production is going.
Well, Maria, I'm gonna ask you the same question too. When you're not filming, what is it that you do?
Always chasing up behind my son.
Okay.
I'm always, working with my family. We have family businesses here
Okay.
in the city of Detroit, and we just service the community for the past 65 years. Coming up on 65 this year, actually. And I'm just, I'm the kind of person where actually, when it comes down to my everyday, day-to-day week, I'm just like, I wake up, I come home.
Yeah.
I'm really like, I'm not
Do
really
too much, yeah.
in the scene. I'm just, focused on what I have to do.
Yeah.
And, it's just really been a pleasure working with Dennis and everything that he's done as far as letting us be who we
Part
are
of it.
and, letting us grow.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part, It's a
Good.
good experience.
Yep. Will, same for you.
Well, as you heard, I just graduated high
Congratulations.
school. Thank you. So really, as I'm trying to grow up and learn how to be a young man, I just really been trying to look and see what really drives me, and the main thing is acting.
Wow.
Since I remember, like he was telling you, I was young when I started acting. He gave me my first shot. I mean, it's a story to my audition. When I came and I auditioned for his movie, my mom was in there with me, and he wrote a role for me, and I was cussing. And who like to cuss around their mom?
Right.
Being a little kid.
Be stuttering.
I was like, Mom, you gotta leave the room. She's like, she didn't want to. She wanted to see me audition, this and that, but I got her to leave the room. And I think he can call for me. I really acted my ass off.
Yeah.
I did.
He cussed on his own. I'm such a bad influence. I got these kids cussing. Oh my God. Like, oh my God, I got all the kids cussing. It's funny because with his sister, I would always be like, what the fuck is going on? She just bust out laughing. She like, he always cussing. You know, my mother cuss. I'm a cusser, Jamaican and Panamanian, B. I'm a cusser.
But yeah, since then, that's really been my drive. Like, I have a lot of talents within me that I've really tried to see about. Like, I'm a singer. I've dabbled in photography. I have my own landscaping business. It's called Blaze Edge.
That's what's up.
Really started up over like the summertime.
Okay.
You know, and it's a lot of more stuff that I can do that I'm really trying to see where I want to take it. But I know my main thing is acting. So
that's good.
So I just want to tell you thank you.
Wow. Don't make him cry. You know he's a crybaby.
I appreciate you giving me my first shot because it's really what I want to do. I'm majoring in theater.
And he got you working with some of the best. You sitting next to the best of the best.
Let me tell you, I'd be so nervous coming on set. Everybody, I don't know what to say.
He don't be high, just how his eyes is. He's not high. It's just he got little eyes. He's like, yo, this is dope. You know, but I appreciate them though.
Yeah.
Like, because the product that they put out, like the editors are dope. Blake and Prime, they're dope.
Yeah.
They're dope. T-Rich, dope. You know, but these actors it's so much that go behind it. Like, from getting good locations. Like, it's funny because, like, where we are now, you know, Sonya looking for a house. I'm like, well, just get a big house, do this. So she looking on Airbnb, and they give us a big ass room in a little ass house. It's like, yo, we could have did this at my house, you know. But just the stuff that go behind it, from making sure that we had the right cars, to making sure that we are in the right restaurants and the right streets. Like, we got a scene in part 2. They on the freeway and they doing the stuff on the freeway. I'm like, yo, y'all really on the free? Y'all on the lodge with it? On the lodge.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
With it? Like, yeah, like even at at Metro Airport, you know, that was Blake, because I remember when we were talking about it, I'm like, well, we had cheated. He said, dog, no, fuck that. We gotta get the fucking airport. You don't understand the significance of the airport. So when I'm looking at the editing, and dude is coming, he's coming out the airport, I'm like, this shit is good. Like, because it was important. Like, the littlest shit is important in movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's important.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, like, y'all gonna see the scene with her and Deezy. And I remember talking to her mom about the scene. I'm like, all right, Mom, we trying to do this. I'm all nervous, like, Mom, can we get her to do this? And she like, well, we just gotta keep it tasteful. And I'm like, how the fuck do you keep it tasteful? She said, you just gotta keep it tasteful. But then when they do it and they kill it, I'm like, we fucking winning.
Yeah.
You know, they fucking killed that scene.
Yeah.
And that's when you see Deezy acting. And that's when you see her acting. And then just, dog, like, I can't, that to me is gonna be the scene that we have done, like, over 6 million views so far. That's
We're doubling up on
We gonna double up.
Yeah.
For certain.
Yeah, for sure.
We gonna double up.
For sure.
Deezy said triple. You know, but when just her and Deezy scene alone, I'm waiting for it. It's certain scenes that I can't. The way the shit start with Patrick, it's gonna kill you. Like, from with Patrick and Maria in the first, if y'all know me, you know what, I'm about to give y'all a secret. All y'all new directors, I'm gonna give y'all a secret. I'm gonna give y'all a piece of my formula. In the very first 5 minutes, get fired, and then go down from there.
Wow.
And if you dope as fuck, get fired in the first 5 minutes and then go up from there. But that's gonna take good writing.
Yeah.
You know, Because in part 1, when you find dude head in the bag, that's a true story. That happened in my family. So that's true shit right there.
Yeah.
I brought that. Now, in part 2, I gave every kid nightmare from the fucking very beginning.
Yeah.
And that's why it's really dope. So when y'all see part 2 and y'all better watch part 1 to watch part 2. And if you already watched part 1, y'all have to watch it again. Because when you watch part 2, it's gonna be crazy. And I want to do something for part 2 though.
Really?
But I need you.
You need who?
I need you. So with part 2, what we're gonna do is, so everybody that came today, we're gonna rent out a theater, 100 seats. And then we're gonna do a Q&A there, but we're gonna give everybody passes to come see part 2 on me.
Okay.
And if you are watching this at home or whatever, right before we do part 2 and we talk about it, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask like 4 questions about part 1. And if you get on right, I'm gonna tell you inbox me. We're gonna give you free passes to come see part 2 on me. So that would be 100 people that get to come sit with the stars and celebrities. Because Hoops will be there. We're gonna make Dro Ass come. We're gonna get LA back. Maria, Deezy, Demaris, everybody's gonna be there. And we're gonna really bring everybody in to watch it with us and kick it with the stars, and then we're gonna have a big ass party somewhere, have a good time.
How? When is the come out date?
Ooh, the beginning of October.
October.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to. We have it before that, so we probably gonna show it to them probably like the last week of September, and then show it to the world in October. It'll be on Amazon and Tubi like the week after that. Trying to get this money.
Would you say you're most proud of your cast? That's your biggest accomplishment with First Lady 1 and 2?
The most proud of my cast, I'm most proud of what they do.
Okay.
Like I think with anything that I do, I look at if they doing certain shit, that's what I'm proud of. So like when I see, and this is not because of me, it's just because of what I see. So when I see like dude in school now to be an actor, I'll be like, that's dope as shit. When I see Deezy saying, you know what, bro, like I'm gonna direct and I wanna produce and I wanna do this. It's not because of me, that's probably what he always want to do. But I think when he's around me and he see me doing it, the shit hard. But he see that it's possible. Because a lot of times when you see people, when we see those big people doing it, making movies, we think that shit's impossible. To get a budget, we think it's impossible. But then when you see me do it, you be like, if he could do it, it's a reality that it could be done.
It can be done,
you
right.
know, and that's what I love about it. Like even with Demaris, I see him doing his own production shit. And I'm like, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know, because when you around, if steel sharpens steel, you know, the reason why them good football teams are really good, because they going against each other every day in practice. They make each other better. So that's how I feel about all of them. They make me a lot better. Like when I wrote part 2, I know Will. So I knew what he would say. I know what he want to say. I know what he want to do. What he want to do. Like with his sister, I'm writing her in He Said, She Said. So I already know what Lily is gonna do. I know her attitude better than she know her own damn attitude. You know what I mean? Like everything, just the whole thing. So with Deezy and Lee, like Lee, I can write him all day. So they make me better. You know, even dealing with Maria now, I know where she's strong at and where she's not so strong at. You know, I know what's gonna make her nervous or doing what's not. But she shocked me in part 2. Like I was like, damn, really, Maria, you that like that? She's like, yeah, I do this. She killed
That's
it.
what's up. That's what's
You
up.
know, and then LA, you know, we only had her for maybe 2 or 3 days. And the thing that was about her that was amazing was I didn't really get to talk to her and I didn't really get to direct her for real. But then when she came in and I think I talked to her for a minute, and I gave her to Julius. And that's the dope part about having Julius.
Yeah.
Because Julius he's like the point guard.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's
You
a
know,
good guy.
he's
Yeah.
the point guard. He's the general on the floor. He's the coach on the floor. So once I gave her to Julius, I promise God I didn't even think about it.
Wow.
I already knew it was gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know, cause Julius, he's dope as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Julius is dope. We're blessed to have a Julius.
Yeah.
Love Logan brought him to us, and he was worth every flight. Seriously, dude was
Wow.
dope. So that's what I'm most proud of. I'm most proud of seeing all of them grow. Like I can't wait to see them really grow. When I'm calling their agents, like, yo, is it possible I can get Deezy in this fucking movie? Where he got 5 movies. I don't give a fuck. I'm grandfathered in.
Right.
You know, he owed me, damn it. I started him. You know, but yeah, I can't wait for that.
That's good. So we're gonna go to some Q&A from the people. You can ask the cast.
You want to ask a question? Who want to ask a question?
How y'all doing? My question is.
What's your name?
Oh, let me start here. My name is Shay, and my question is more so for Dennis. I noticed how you said, as you wrote part 2, you knew characters, you knew the cast members. Did that make it easier for you to write? And then also, how do you go about writing? Do you close yourself off? Do you kind of just stay with your family? Do you seclude yourself?
Good question.
With me, writing part 2 is way easier than writing part 1 because I already did the character development, so I already knew what I was doing with them. My writing, I write 2 times. I write when I'm at Panera Bread. I've been doing Zoop lately, but Panera Bread, because what I do is I throw in my AirPods and I'm looking at everybody, and I'm normally listening to, like, it's funny. Like I've been listening to the Anthony James Davis CD, and then I've been listening. I always listen to Jay-Z. I always listen to Meek Mill, and then it's funny because I started listening to the Detroit rappers like Sada Baby, who I never heard before. I threw him on, and then I threw him on because I was listening to T Grizzly, and then I listened to Deezy's, and then I got all of them going in my ear, and I'm just fucking going crazy writing, you know. And at night I could go. I'm at home, and I normally lately it's funny because I would just put First Lady or True Law on, and I haven't cut down. And I just start writing, and I'm listening to music. So that's basically how I write now. You know what I mean? Like, writing is easy for me. That's my drug.
Wow.
That and Pinot Noir.
Yep. You have a question? What's your name?
Hello, my name is Maida, and my question is more for the ladies, because when me and went up here, they talked about how it was working with each other, how they learn from each other, and I know you mentioned part 2 was more like women empowerment, so I just wanted to learn more about how you guys work together, how it was working with each other, and anything you learned from each other as women on set with each other.
Well, how it was, like, set schedule-wise, we didn't necessarily get to interact with each other necessarily. I know that we were there with each other in spirit because we had to collectively have one ship with it because we have this project and we gotta bring forth an idea to an audience and we have to make it, you know, everything. So I think when it comes down to it, it's just the time frames that we had that really didn't give us that, you know, bond like this. But we were there with each other in spirit. And when it comes to filming, you're always like focused on like, okay, when's this next scene? You know, I gotta just make sure that I you know, whatever the prop or whatever, you know, the makeup or the hair, whatever you gotta have, that's what you're kind of focused on. But I would say most of it has to just do with like, you know, time schedule, but everything else was like, you know, everybody was in sync, I would say, mentally. I don't know about, we weren't always there physically together, but mentally we were there together. Yeah.
Any more
definitely.
questions?
I agree with Riviera on that. We didn't film together. We actually didn't have time to film together, but it was still like in spirit, and just feeding off of everybody's individual character and just energy really helps produce a great film overall. Yeah.
I have a question. My question is for LA. How much time did you have to study the script before you actually came to Detroit? And then once you came to Detroit, you know, what was it like being in the city and shooting a film at the same time?
Well, I was definitely answer your question first about me reviewing the script. I reviewed it initially, but my process is I wait till I get on screen to really start really going over and memorizing the script, because my process is me as an artist first. It's easier for me to do that and feel off the energy of that person that I'm filming with. So that's how I work my process, and it's pretty easy for me. Now, me being in Detroit, that was my first time ever coming to Detroit.
Wow.
Yes, so it was an experience. You hear so much grit about Detroit. You hear a lot of the negative things about Detroit, but I'm really taken by Detroit, the love that they show here, and just the gratitude they show for being authentic and being not a gimmick and being yourself. And
You're actually in Detroit right now shooting another film.
yes, I am.
So do you feel as if Detroit could be a second home for you?
I love Detroit, but I love Maryland. I'm from Maryland. I own my house there now. I'm officially a new homeowner.
Yay! Congratulations.
She making money. She making money. I'm going $1. I don't listen. This $1.
Congrats.
And just sign it. I'm gonna eBay that bitch.
But Detroit is it's just amazing. It's just like I said, you hear so much negative things about it. You hear about, oh my God, this shooting, killing, all these negative things. But I noticed that this city is based upon authenticity.
Yeah.
And they really appreciate when you are like that. They sense that.
And we hustle hard.
And hustle
Yes.
hard.
Detroit funny too, because I'll never forget one of the rappers who was at downtown at the thing. He took off his shirt and threw it in the crowd. Right, threw the shirt right back in the crowd. We don't do that here, B. We not that place, B.
No.
We are definitely Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a, is it okay if I ask another question?
Yeah.
I have a question for Robert. You know, we've seen in part one that you, I guess you could say, curious or creating a hunger for the street life, I guess, from watching your dad and your uncle. In part two, you said something about growing up now. So in part two, should we expect to see Robert off in the streets now too?
Let me tell you this. I got my crew and we working.
Wow. I'm excited. I want to see
Like,
it.
that's gonna be dope though, because
Yeah, look at his eyes.
Yeah.
that's gonna be dope.
And he smiled afterwards
That's
like,
gonna be dope because
Don't play.
it's kind of, I already was like, we doing the 3, you know, and the 3 is him and his 2 partners,
okay.
you know, so it was like when we doing auditions yesterday, I think we found one of his partners, a new one that we gonna bring into the fold, because kid drug dealers, like if you seen The Wire,
It's real.
that kid killer is a bad mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you got them kids in the fold, man, cause nobody expect the kid to be a deadly motherfucker.
Yeah.
He-
Wow.
That boy, he gonna be worse than his daddy in his own.
Well, I guess that wraps it up. I'm excited about First Lady 2, when you said in October.
October
October should be out.
will be out.
All righty. We'll be ready.